to take place promotion in collaboration with Future Star Promotion. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have 7 extravaganza bouts. Announcing first, the bout number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, coming all the way from Brisbane, let's welcome Sidwell, Goliath!
Can you do it from there? Yeah, I think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, asking his opponent coming from the right corner. Ladies and gentlemen, from the province of Western Cape, let's welcome Jean-Claude, Dixon! And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is our first bout of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, let's thank Shaky Place Boxing Promotion in collaboration with Future Stars Promotion. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget the sponsors, Luli, Owen, and CGC Goliath. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go any further, let's introduce the official for this bout. The following inspectors, Mr. Bell, Mr. Quer, and ladies and gentlemen, the timekeeper, the legendary Mr. Featherweight. Ladies and gentlemen, announcing the winning officials. Ladies and gentlemen, our judges for this bout. Judge number 1, Mr. Owen, 2, Siphande, 3, Mr. D.G. Duarte. And ladies and gentlemen, our referee, the third man is on the ring, Mr. Costanyo's Ahoy Jamal. Ladies and gentlemen, announcing first, the boxer on the right hand side, wearing black gloves. Ladies and gentlemen, his weight on the scale yesterday was 61.9 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, he's from the province of Bruceley. He comes with a big record of 4 fights and 4 losses. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Sidwell, Owen, Goliath! Ladies and gentlemen, he's opponent on the right hand side, wearing white and red, commonly known as romantic colors. Ladies and gentlemen, his weight on the scale, 60.9 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, he's from the province of Western Cape. He's making his debut. He's making his introduction project. Ladies and gentlemen, you will never forget us. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Jean-Claude, the hitman, Dixon! Boxers, in the center of the ring.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Vibrant Sports Studio in Ottery, Cape Town, where Jackie Brice Boxing Promotions presents the return of a warrior of five, Cristiano and Ndombassy, against Nolawu in our main event, and also the return of light heavyweight Michael Markram against Khodani Nephalama. And with me here, my old verbal sparring partner, Jack Brice.
Good evening to the viewers, Drooks. And sorry for my voice. I've had a bit of a bad flu, and I know Drooks will be doing most of the talking, but welcome to my show. I hope you enjoy it, and let's keep punching.
We've got the pro debut here right in front of you of lightweight Jean-Claude Dixon against Sidwell Goliath. And if you name Jean-Claude, then you better know how to fight. What can you tell us about this youngster making his debut, Jack?
Oh, yeah. You know, he comes from PFA. They asked me to put him on, and we gave him a chance, but they call him the Hitman, new to the game. I don't know much about him, Drooks. All I know is they told me he comes with a pedigree, and we're going to be looking for that pedigree this evening.
Well, Dixon is sitting behind the jab, but it's a right hand and a left hook to the body right there from Goliath. Goliath 0-4, so he's winless in his career. He'll be trying to tip the scales here, and it's a nice right hand there from Dixon. You say Dixon is from the PFA, Jack. What is PFA?
I must be honest with you, Brooks. You put me on the spot there, but Neville Adnell has been in the game a long time with kickboxing, MMA, and originally he was an MMA kick. He just got a very good left hook there, was Jean-Claude. He caught Sidwell with a left hook there. And he comes from another overhand right there from Jean-Claude. His corner shouting there in the corner there to attack. Left hook to the body there from Sidwell, from Jean-Claude. Uppercut there. Sidwell hasn't won a fight yet, Drooks, but it's going to be good for this young man.
Dixon then is from a kickboxing background. That is interesting. That's what I wanted to know really there. You can see the kickboxers sometimes.
In him, eh?
You can see that. Sometimes they are a little bit too square. Not saying that he is, but they need to get used to a shorter distance, meaning the distance between you and your opponent. Nice uppercut that he puts together there. He's picking his shots, Dixon, right to the body. And we've had some world champions in boxing coming from kickboxing. I can remember there was a cruiserweight, James Waring was IBF world champion. We've had Troy Dorsey, was an IBF featherweight champion. So you do get them. Some can make the can make that transition.
No, I agree with you, Brooks. I agree with you.
Is that Simon Tuncheni again?
That's my aspirant South African junior featherweight champion. She's rated number 1 or 2 in the country now, and she loves that role. She wants to be in the ring all the time. But getting back to this fight, Drooks, I think it was a very close round. I think that the young man John must have just shaded it, a bit of a cleaner blows. But you could see he was nervous, And let's hope he comes out now in the second round with a bit of more confidence.
He definitely, I think, controlled around the distance a bit better, and he landed the cleaner shots. But you've noticed when Goliath gets on the inside, he does land there against Dixon.
Dixon, sorry, not Dixon. Sidwell needs to use his jab. He needs to. There, he doubles up on it, and that's what will win him this fight. If he just uses that jab of his, he's got the length, but he lunges sometimes. You'll see, and that's when Sidwell picks him up with the left hook.
He's falling just a bit short of his jab, does Goliath in the black trunks. Dixon is waiting for the shot. You can tell he's waiting to throw a big shot, but he needs to get busy.
I fully agree with you on that, Drooks. He needs to get busy, and he needs to put his authority on this fight. A big overhand right there. He definitely grimaced with that overhand right that Dixon threw at him. He's definitely going to throw that overhand right a lot more. But again, Goliath should just use his jab. Taller fighter. There, he catches him with the jab. Oh, very good left hook to the body there.
Kill the body and the head will die. There's an uppercut again. I think the hitman, Jean-Claude Dixon, he just needs to get his hands go a little bit more. He's throwing single shots, but pretty good single shots when he throws it both to the head and body.
I fully agree with you on that. He needs to let the hands go. You can't just throw one or two. There he throws a 1-2, doesn't follow up with the left hook or go to the body downstairs. He's in that position. He should punch from there.
Sidwell Goliath, he's been knocked out in all of his losses, or stopped at least. So I think Dixon will want to emulate that.
There again, he just throws left hook, right hook, and he just doesn't follow up with a number of blows. And but I'm sure in time that'll come. In time that'll come. But it's good that we talk about it, Drooks, that when he goes back, like that left hook, he needs to follow up with quicker hands.
The thing about Dixon is his hands are down and his chin is a bit up in the air. So if somebody in Goliath's position let their combinations go, they're going to catch him on that jaw with the hands down like that. But right now he's keeping him defensive, and oh, that's a good right hand, good left hook. He's got Goliath in some trouble there towards the end.
Absolutely, had him in a bit of trouble there. And but that's when he threw 3 or 4 punches. And that's what we've been crying for.
So the ring card goes Western Cape Junior Featherweight Champion Siphande Tucheni. So she'll be fighting, I think, next month, is it, Jack?
I've got another show, Drew, on the 30th of August. I've got the SA female title fight, and she was meant to fight for the title, but the champion turned us down. So we'll wait. We're a champion in waiting. We're number 1, and but yeah, great show on the 30th of August.
Okay, here we go into the third round. Let's see if Jean-Claude Dixon can stop his opponent. That nickname of a hitman carries a lot of connotation. In South Africa, Cassius, the hitman Baloyi, and of course the big boss of them all, Tommy Hearns.
Absolutely, absolutely. You mentioned some great fighters there. I used to enjoy the hitman Hearns, and then obviously our own hitman. Great fights.
He's sort of reaching out of a jab, does Dixon, and then Goliath replies with a jab of his own.
The problem is he's trying to knock him out with one blow. And as soon as Goliath realizes that he needs to attack more and put pressure on Dixon.
There's a stiff jab from Goliath. It hit Dixon. Left hook, uppercut.
It was a bit too wide with that left hook to the short rib. It was way too wide, and he was off balance when he threw it. There, a nice right hand left hook, but he needs to follow up with another two. And that's what the hitman did. He gets tagged there with the right hand because he's off balance. And I definitely see Goliath gaining a lot of more confidence now. Look at that.
Goliath is getting brave. They say when a fighter turns brave, then he's dangerous. Towards the end of last round, Goliath had that defeated look on his face when he's in trouble against the ropes. But now he's confident again. He's now coming back.
Left hook there was more of an open hand left hook there. Oh, nice! Oh, double! Oh, yeah, he's gone! He's gone!
That's it. Left hook to the body, set it up, went upstairs with the left again. And I think that's it. I don't think he's going to get up.
It's all over.
That's it. Knockout in the third round for Jean-Claude Dixon.
All over. And that's when you put a couple of punches together, and that's what happened. And congratulations to the young man. It's his first fight. Their trainer, Neville Admiral, and Angela are very happy. And I'm happy for them as well. But he's got a little bit of work to do back at home. And but this victory will give him a lot of more confidence to go into his next fight.
It's only his first pro fight, so of course lots and lots of work to do. But look at the crowd reaction. He's got some supporters here. It's always good when you get these youngsters that's got a support base that they bring with them to the fights. Popular is the hitman Dixon.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give this guy a big round of applause. Big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout was brought to you by J.K. Brice Boxing Promotions in collaboration with Future Stars Boxing Promotions. Ladies and gentlemen, our winner by knockout in round 3, 1 minute and 53 seconds, Jean-Claude Dixon!
Guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe to Spy Inc.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to our second bout of the evening. So far, so good. The doctor is working and the official pronounced. Ladies and gentlemen, making his way inside the ring. Making his way inside the ring. All the way from Service. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Siphande, Lithuli. Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent coming from the red corner. Ladies and gentlemen, from SM, let's welcome Bruceley, Mugutso.
If she ain't fucking, she got to go. Tell her don't waste my time. Police won't stop me, search my clothes. Tell her don't waste my time. If it ain't money, I ain't involved. Tell her don't waste my time. Waste man nothing down my phone. Tell her don't waste my time. No. Tell her don't waste my time. 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 Tell her don't waste my time.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to take place of the promotion in collaboration with Future Stars Promotion. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 hours, 30 minutes per round, and it's in welterweight division. Ladies and gentlemen, announcing first, the boxer. Ladies and gentlemen, the boxer on the right side wears the green and black. Ladies and gentlemen, his weight on the scale 62.75. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the 6 times Western Cape Amateur Champion. He is the 1-time 2020 SA Amateur Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, he was all selected to represent South Africa in Olympic qualifiers in 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Service, let's welcome Siphande, Lithuli. Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent on the left-hand side weighs in white and gold. His weight on the scale was 63.75. Ladies and gentlemen, from SA Boxing Gym, he comes in with the records of 1 fight, 1 win. Ladies and gentlemen, he goes by the name of King Savage. Let's welcome Bruce the Boot. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to any fair balance, introduce the officials again. Our colleagues Mr. Owen and Mr. Quer. Ladies and gentlemen, our judges, Mr. Clifford Bell, Mr. D.T. the double Clifford Jean-Claude. Ladies and gentlemen, our head judge, Mr. Owen, the Mr. Marshall, the Marshall Man Marshall. Ladies and gentlemen, boxers, shakers.
Seconds out. Round number 1.
We are ready to go for a 4-round welterweight bout. Siphande Lithuli in the black trunks making his pro debut against Bruceley Mugutso in the white. Lithuli, the aggressor, is a short, stocky fighter. He's coming forward, putting pressure on Mugutso. Oh, beautiful right by Mugutso, right on the jaw. It is all over the place. That's it. He's in no condition to continue. Mugutso going to the wrong corner. Referee sends him back to the neutral corner. The fight goes on. He's got a jump on him now. I think Lithuli is still in the fog. There he comes back. Another right hand. He's looking for that right hand. Is Mugutso. Lithuli needs to get through the fog here and recover. Holding on. That's the right thing to do. He seems to have recovered somewhat. He's moving his head, he's keeping his hands up. Oh, uppercut, followed by a right from Mugutso. Lithuli is coming forward, smothering himself a bit, throwing himself off balance, throwing that right hand. Oh, there he goes again. I think he took a left hook there. No, he's struggling. I think Siphande needs to keep a close eye on this. No, he hasn't got his legs under him. That one is a slip. From where I'm sitting at ringside, his legs are stiff. He's on his heels. That doesn't. Oh, and it scores a knockdown to the right. How is that? What a turnaround. He still looks like he's hurt to me, but he came back and he scored a knockdown of his own. This is exciting stuff. Lithuli. Oh, takes a right hand on the chin again. It's down for a third time. That's it. Big knockdown for the round. And Bruceley Mugutso wins this one by stoppage. Wow, that was exciting stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give this guy a big round of applause. Big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout was scheduled for 4 rounds. However, it was concluded in round 1 and with 4 knockdowns. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner in round number 1 in 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, by knockout, ladies and gentlemen, from SA, Bruceley, Mugutso! Ladies and gentlemen, I must say, I, for one, love the pace that we are going into. Ladies and gentlemen, most of these bouts are scheduled for 4 rounds, but so far so good, none of them have reached that limit. Ladies and gentlemen, announcing first, on the right side in the blue corner. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Marko, Koker!
Once again, guys, thank you for watching and tuning in. Please do subscribe to Spy Inc. Like and subscribe, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. DJ. Thank you, my senator. Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent on the left-hand side of the right corner from Vibrant. Let's welcome Jean-Claude! Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Jake Brice Promotion in collaboration with Future Stars. Ladies and gentlemen, the sponsors for this medal, Black Lily, Oxford, CTC, Tex Royal. Remember, It's a decisive, ladies and gentlemen, until October. Ladies and gentlemen, our officials for this bout, and not forgetting that this bout is in the featherweight division and is scheduled for 4 rounds and is sanctioned by Boxing South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, the timekeeper for this bout is Mr. Robert Fenyers, and our opponent inspectors, Mr. Nolawu and Mr. Welterweight. Ladies and gentlemen, our officials, our judges, Mr. Oscar Yohan Ahoy Jaman Ahoy, Mr. Elroy the Marshal Man Marshal, and ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Clifford Utonde Campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, and the head man inside the ring, the WT for Mr. Tion Duarte. Ladies and gentlemen, announcing first, the boxer on the right hand side. He wears the boxing crown of gold and red. On the scale yesterday he was 56.70 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, he's from the Western Cape. He comes in with the record of 1 fight, 1 loss. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Marko, the Diamond, the Koker! Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent on the left-hand side, he is the multiple South African champion in kickboxing. He is a 6-time silver medalist in boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, he weighs in 57.50 kilograms. The boxing pants are black and gold. Ladies and gentlemen, he comes with a clean record of 2 fights, 2 wins, and one of those fights didn't go to distance. Ladies and gentlemen, he's fighting home. Ladies and gentlemen, he's protecting one of his own. Ladies and gentlemen, how surrounds and introduce Josh the Huntsman Cloete! Boxers in the center of the ring.
Second down. Round number 1.
Oh, no, it's fine. Right, here we go. 4-round featherweight bout. It's a 3rd fight. He's had 2 wins in a row for young Josh Cloete there. Josh Cloete with a sort of darker gold trim with a white boots, and his opponent Marko the Koker, who's had 1 fight which he lost on points. And let's see what Josh Cloete can do. Josh, 2 wins with 1 by knockout. Good right hand. Jack, what do you think of young Josh Cloete so far?
You know, Drux, I've been impressed with him. He takes his time, he picks his punches, got an extremely good left hook. There was a big body blow, and I definitely think this kid's got something if we just bring him along the right way. And but this is a bit of a grudge fight. Look, Drux, I must tell you this. And I think you're going to see if the Huntsman wins tonight, the everything that's going to explode out of him.
Cloete is working very nicely behind the jab. The Koker looks like a tough nut. You can see he's in great shape. Tries a left hook to the body. Few moments earlier, as I noticed, when the Koker throws, he tends to, like there, he leans too far forward and you see his back foot going off a canvas. I like the way Josh Cloete is boxing. Jab upstairs, jab downstairs, picking his punches, and his weight is in the center, whereas the Koker's weight goes over his front foot, like you see there.
Very wide with his feet, Drux. You picked that up very well. I didn't even see it, Drux. But a kid can't punch from there. You know, you can't get the hips through, and that's the problem. Nice body blows there from Josh. A double left hook to the body and the head. His hands are nicely up, and this is all going to come in time. but he's going to be in for a fight tonight.
The Koker is definitely here to try and win and spring an upset. But I just think the balance of Josh Cloete looks so much better. I love the way he puts his punches together. It's already an improvement from his last fight, I think. Nice left hook. And he's out of the way. You see, he's telegraphing that right hand. He's the Koker.
Relax.
Nice jab again. Most important punch in boxing, Jack.
Absolutely, that jab. And the Koker should use, he's got a very strong jab. Oh, nice uppercut there. Follow up there with a right uppercut, left hook. It's just, sorry, Dukes, you know, it's just when the young man, Josh, goes back, he does drop the hand at times.
That's the end of the first round. I think that's a clear round for Josh Cloete.
I won't even argue with you on that. Oh, we've got a great crowd here this evening again, Druk. And me personally, I always thank my fighting fan for the brand of Jackie Brice Boxing. And it's wonderful to see a crowd come out on a Saturday night and enjoy some good boxing.
Yes, I think we are full here. There's not really space for a mouse. And all these youngsters bring a few friends, a few supporters, members from their club or their gym, and then you have a full house. And sometimes you don't need world beaters to make for a good fight. We had a great dust-up just before this between Bruceley, Mugutso and Sivenathi, Lithuli. Won by Mugutso, but 4 knockdowns in one round. It wasn't a single round, but it was good action.
Absolute good action. I agree with you, Drooks. As we go into the second round, there was a lot of action in round 1, and nice right, left hook there. The Koker needs to work off that jab. He's definitely got the length. And he's a very powerful puncher, although he's an arm puncher, but he's very powerful.
Yeah, the Koker is coming up out of a new vengeance here, digging to the body. He started out by using his jab that was missing in the first round. There he throws the right hand. And Cloete is digging into that body. And he's placing his shots well. Oh, nice right hand down the pipe.
I love that saying, Drooks. And that's all boxing people when we talk about down the pipe with the right hand. In Afrikaans sê hulle deur die pyp of af van die pyp af.
Now he sort of turns the right into a hook. Now the Koker is moving backward a little bit.
Strong jabs there from Josh. But it's a lot of balance to Koker. He needs to work on his balance.
You see, the Koker's weight is there on his back foot, and then you have to shift to a front foot.
There from the Koker.
Now he's got Josh on the ropes. Josh covers up nicely, digs to the body, and then back comes the Koker with hooks around the guard. Turns him out there and steps around, lands a nice right uppercut. And back to the jab. You can see that the Koker is taking some of those jabs. His face is reddening. But he comes back, digs to the body. And back on the jab is Josh. Misses there, but he catches him with a left hook. Yeah, the Koker landed a little right there. Back to the jab.
I agree with Emil here in the back of me. Josh needs to pick his punches and he needs to relax. Bit tight now all of a sudden. Oh, both jabs. Both fighters caught each other with very good jabs. Now, Drooks, the Koker's come to fight. He takes a good bang as well.
He comes to fight. I like what Josh does there. Every time the Koker wants to come forward, he sticks him with a jab in the face. Sticks him with a jab in the face. And when the Koker eventually gets on the inside, he ties him up and he steps around him.
Oh, a wild right hand there. from the Koker, but Josh follows it up with the left hook. Very even round, Brooke.
Even on, I'm still going to give it to Josh. I think he landed the clearer punches. But the Koker is definitely coming on.
Definitely coming on. And I agree with you once again. Close round, but I'll shade it with a cleaner blow.
You notice Josh Smith is standing in his corner, Josh Smith. What do you think about standing in your corner between rounds?
It tells us he's superb fit.
But like George Foreman says, you better make sure you stand in your corner until the end.
Absolutely. And I remember Aladdin Stevens, he used to be with Hadstein's dad. I always remember him standing in the corner. Again, off balance is young de Koker. How many fights has this de Koker had, Josh?
He's only had one fight, Jack, which was a points loss.
He's definitely come back from that loss. Very, very, oh, he's gaining a lot of more ascendancy in the third round.
He's starting off busy there. He's definitely come to win. There he throws a jab. Last round he also started with throwing the jab, and then he forgets about it. He's throwing the hooks now, he's staying busy. I think that's a thing for the Koker to do, because I don't think he can really out-finesse.
Big blows there coming from Josh.
Big
left hook there from the Koker. Big left hook.
He got the success there because he hit the left, he threw the punches to the body, and then he came upstairs with a left hook.
And that's because of Josh's chin up in the air after throwing a left hook. The Koker's come to fight. I think there's going to be many stories in this fight still.
You notice about Josh, he rarely throws the same punches twice. That was jab right to the body, and then he goes back to the jab, and then he'll do the hooks, and then he'll come back with the strikes again.
And there comes the Koker back at him. Catches him with the left hook. The Koker needs to work like he's doing now. If he wants to win this fight, he's got to take him to the deep side. A right hook there from Josh, follows the Koker follows up.
Oh, double left hook, that put the Koker on his heels. But he comes right back. No lack of heart there.
Big punches going home here, Drooks, some big blows. Some nice bobbin weaving there from young huntsman Clutter.
And he's back to the jab. The Koker is definitely making Josh Cloete work. And these are the kind of fights these young prospects need. You know, this is the kind of fight he's going to learn from, rather than just blowing somebody away in the first. And Koker is teeing off on Josh here above us, but he gets out of a corner and he goes back to the jab. Lands a left hook, back to the jab.
Yeah, definitely, Drooks, this is the type of fights these kids need. And the Koker is, another big right hand. Well, I'll tell you now, this round is definitely going in my book. Big right hand there from Josh, overhand right. But this has been a great fight, Drooks.
Definitely, I think it was a much better round by the Koker. I do think Josh maybe still shaded it because he landed that one good punch, but had the Koker sort of staggering on his heels. They tried it on fairly even terms.
Absolutely, and I shaded it towards the Koker. But I just want to touch on what you said. It's fights like this that young up-and-coming boxers need. And the Koker is not taking one step back for a kid who probably can make it in this game. But you know what it's like. It's a long road.
They have to go through the steps, you never know.
Our second round.
But Josh Cloete looks very promising to me.
Boxers shake hands.
And here we go to a fourth round.
It's the final round, eh? Final round.
Yes, correct.
And I must say, both boys are in great physical condition.
We're putting on a good show for the crowd here. No doubt about that as they touch gloves. And let's see.
The Koker knows he's got to take this round. And the Koker's coming out. The Koker just leaves the hands a little bit open when he finishes punching. And you know, we call that the middle distance. And it's very dangerous. But he's coming at Josh.
What I like about the Koker is he's throwing punches. Both of these guys actually for throwing punches.
Yeah.
He's not waiting to make something happen.
No, the Koker's come to fight, and I must say he's putting up a very good fight. But if he wants to win this fight, he needs to take this round convincingly.
I gave Josh Cloete the first 2 rounds. We made an argument for the Koker.
Another left hook. I must say Josh's hands are very tight after being caught with that left hook in round 2. Oh, nice left hook again when he catches them. Oh, a glance to the right there from the Koker on the head of Josh. You can see the Koker's been in a fight, huh?
Definitely both of them. You can see if you look at Josh's back, the red marks from the ropes there. So he's been pushed and moved around. They've both been in a bit of a fight. The Koker comes in. Oh, he lands a good one there on Josh.
Oh, he catches him with the left hook.
The Koker is having a good round. Now Josh comes back. The Koker is having a good last round here. Josh's work rate is just dropping away ever so slightly.
I agree with you. And he's getting tagged unnecessary. This fight is a lot closer than what we're going to make it, or the crowd makes it out. Oh, a nice right hand there. And they size each other up here towards the end of the 4th round. Left hook by the Koker. It's tit for tat and butter for fat. Left hook
to and throw they go. I want to see something now from Josh Cloete because the Koker is taking this round in my book. Very digs to the body. Well, good fight, quality stuff.
Good fight, huh?
This is a closer one. I gave the first 2 rounds to Josh. You gave a third to the Koker. I gave the last one to the Koker. I gave a third to Josh. It could be a draw, or maybe I think Josh just edged it.
I thought so. I'll take those sentiments from you. I think Josh just edged it, and but we have the judges around the table, and it's their job to give us a decision.
Yeah, our scorecards don't count, so we'll see. But I think it's a good performance from Josh Cloete. He let his work rate drop ever so slightly there, and let the Koker come back into that fight. It was a good fight. Jack, how about a rematch over 6 rounds?
I think that could be a good thing. You know, in this game, Brooks, when you're on the winning trial, you never look back. You look ahead. And but it's a good fight.
A very good fight. I think Josh Cloete's ring generalship, his technique was just a little bit better. There's a few obvious balancing flaws there, and the Koker And there's something that Josh Clutter needs to work on as well. As you say, he leaves his chin up and he gets caught with the left hooks. But a very good fight, nice competitive fight.
I've said to the ring announcer that I'll be giving them 500 Rand each, no matter who wins or loses, to their purse.
Fight of the night so far bonus.
Absolutely, fight of the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give this guy a big round of applause. Big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout was brought to you by Jackie Brice Boxing Promotion in collaboration with Future Stars Boxing Promotion. And ladies and gentlemen, the promoter, he was more than impressed by this bout. And he's giving each boxer 500 Rand for this bout. 500 Rand, ladies and gentlemen, for this bout. Ladies and gentlemen, for once tonight, we are going to judges' scorecards. Oscar, Leo Wells, and Clifford Main score about 39-37. And Mr. Roy Marshall scored about 38-38. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by majority decision. Ladies and gentlemen, he is coached and managed by his father. Ladies and gentlemen, on one play, just Junior Cloete. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, making his way inside the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, from Philippines, however originally from Tanzania. Let's welcome Mshua!
Cause you wanna be on TV, I bet. Bet you never thought that she would cheat on you, I bet. Don't be mad at me, I'll pull that chopper out and squeeze on. No sympathy for you. Shut the fuck up, miss me with the bullshit. Ballin' like all my good rich. Bring some crib, show 'em wood. You look like you win that. On my goodness, it's 500, that big block. Then you see the kettle bird when you hit the shots. What the sun is coming to me at the dot. Since the little homie girl might be caught. All that, I'm getting money, don't get girl want me, cause I'm rapping for us. I'm in the billions in the digital. Simple that the bosses in the power, business in it. I'm painted on my mind, you look like me. Now, I'm a little syrup, if she nurses, I'm perfect. I be in that BBD from the book. I'm a circle, bitch. Cause I hope I see you when you
and gentlemen, once again, let's call out the boxer on the right-hand side, blue corner. Ladies and gentlemen, from future champions, originally from Tanzania. Ladies and gentlemen, let's call out Mshua! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, announcing his opponent coming from the left side. Ladies and gentlemen, Owen! Venganayi!
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to Spy Inc.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the featherweight bout. Scheduled for 6 rounds. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been sanctioned by Boxing South Africa and the reigning judge, Honorable Mshua. Ladies and gentlemen, our timekeeper, Mr. Owen from Venganayi. Ladies and gentlemen, our corner inspectors, Mr. Dion Duarte, Mr. Welterweight. And ladies and gentlemen, announcing the officials, Mr. Oscar Royals, Mr. Siphande, and Mrs. Clutter. Ladies and gentlemen, announcing the boxer on our right hand side. He weighs in 55.50 kilograms. He weighs in the trans of Tanzanian colors. Ladies and gentlemen, on his corner, there's no one other than the world recognized coach, Mr. Magic Man, Coach. Ladies and gentlemen, he comes with the record of 2 fights and 2 losses. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the BOUT. Ladies and gentlemen, he's opening from the left-hand side. Second time tonight, we are having a son and a father in the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, he is originally from Zimbabwe. Ladies and gentlemen, he's weighing from the same yesterday, was 56.15 kilograms. On the pants, blue, red, and white. He comes with a level of 3 fights, 3 wins. Ladies and gentlemen, from Sidwell, Red and Street. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Owen, the good Venganayi. Ladies and gentlemen, the head man on the ring, Mr. Bennett.
We've got about 4,500
Seconds out. Round number 1.
Right, we're ready to go. 6-round featherweight bout with an undefeated 3-0 Owen Venganayi in the white trunks with a blue and the red trim against a tough guy from Tanzania, which is Harrison Mshua. Owen too hasn't won in his career, but he's gone the distance each time. And Venganayi still needs to score a knockout in his career. So this is an interesting fight, Jack.
Absolutely, you know, and we felt that this kid, even in his 2 losses, put up a great show from future champs, Zola Khodani and Jongi. A nice left hook there from Venganayi. But little young Venganayi is going to go places, Drooks. You'll see he's a natural kid. He lets his hands work later. He caught him with a big right hand there now.
Venganayi looks almost like a praying mantis. He's got quite a wide stance. If you look at his feet, they're quite far apart.
Immediately I noticed that. Another right hand there from Venganayi. But you'll see when he puts those punches together, he gets those hips through.
Good hand speed from Venganayi.
Excellent hand speed.
And Mshua is throwing when he goes over the top.
And this is probably going to be his downfall against this kid. Look at that. He's off balance when he punches, and he's got to stay in his lane.
That's the thing about boxing. It's even though you punch with your hands, it's a whole body synergy, almost like golf. All you guys like to spend time on the golf course. So you can't punch when you're not in position. You got to get your feet in position and then you punch. Otherwise, what happens is what's happening now to Mshua. He's falling over his front foot.
And that's going to be his downfall, unfortunately. And I agree with you. You know, I'm a golfer myself. I don't have the rhythm when I was 21 anymore, but it's all about the rhythm, eh?
Very focused, Venganayi, eyes wide open, working that jab. And you see him, Mshua's got his chin high up in the air. It's not a good thing, but he's gone the distance with people like Ismail Kadri. He's a top prospect. So he's got to have a certain degree of toughness, but he's aerating the arena with those wide shots at the moment.
And unfortunately, he's using a lot of energy. And, you know, and if he's off balance, a lovely double left hook there from Venganayi, and he's just waiting for the gap to open. As they encounter blows there now towards the end of the first round. Nice body blows there from Venganayi.
Down. I think Venganayi has got to watch out for going back in a straight line. He was scoring those shots, and then Bulldog, according to his name, his nickname Harrison Mshua, came forward and he went straight back across the ring in a straight line rather than stepping around his opponent.
I fully agree with you, Drew. These are type of things, when you put this on YouTube, they go back to the videos. And as you know, his dad is his trainer. And I know what you feel about dads and fighters. I've been through that all my life. And but what a great old man I had, Uncle Basil. And like people, I've known him throughout South Africa. But getting back to this fight, little Owen, he needs just to make sure that besides being, he's a very technical fighter, and he's just got to make sure he lets him go when the kid's close to him.
Round 2, let's see what happens now. Venganayi has got those hands up high, working the jab, snapping the jab through. Mshua has a jab of his own that he's trying there. Seems a little bit more settled.
He's got to work inside. He's got to close the gap. Venganayi needs to close the gap because this kid from Future Champs is trying to work on that jab now. And I'm sure his corner spoke to him. Keep him away, keep him away. But you'll see a different story on the inside now. You can hear those punches on the side of the ring here.
You can see the nickname there on the back of Owen Venganayi's trunks, the Truth. And it makes me think of another guy called the Truth, Cole Williams, a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Way back then. Gave Larry Holmes a very, very hard night. Some people even thought he did enough to win. Didn't work out against the big punches like Tyson and Mike Weaver. But one thing that the Truth, Cole Williams, did have was a very good jab.
Absolutely, man, but there's a scrub here. Oh, little glance left hook, followed up by a straight jab from Venganayi. The Bulldog has come to fight, definitely, but again, off balance. It doesn't, there's no foundation. Oh, big left jab there from Venganayi. Another left hook. His chin is up in the air, the Bulldog, but he's come to fight.
Somebody's mouthpiece is lying there on the canvas, Jack, or I'm seeing something else. No, it is a mouthpiece. Yeah, Clifford Mbelu's got it up.
No, the Bulldog really needs to start working if he wants to win this fight.
Mouthpiece back in. Now he's banging to the body right here above us.
Big body blows going on there. He needs to work there now. Mustn't let him off. Because as a featherweight, he's a very short featherweight. Oh, double left hook there. Those are, but he needs to, more punches need to come out.
Really nice combinations from Owen Venganayi when he lets those hands go.
He's definitely got a lovely double left hook. And that is a talent, and that is a gift. When you have a left hook like that, that's an absolute gift.
Can he put Mshua on the canvas of that left hook though? That's a question. Everybody loves a knockout puncher, but you don't find them every day.
This young man's coming back now with some nice blows himself. Getting a lot of more confidence now, and he's coming forward, but he's got to be careful like there. He gets caught because his guards are down and he's off balance. Another round to Owen Venganayi.
I agree. That's a Venganayi round. 2 up right now.
Round number 3.
Right, we're going into the third round. Let's see if Harrison Mshua can turn this fight his way or if it's still going to be Owen Venganayi in cruise control. Owen starting with a jab there. Still fighting in that sort of a crouch. There goes a left hook. One-two left hook around the guard, and he ducks underneath the retaliatory blows from Mshua. There goes a jab again. Left hook, digging that left hook underneath the elbow, and then Mshua comes straight back. He's being warned there for pushing from by referee Griffith and Berlu. He's giving both a talking to. There's an awkwardness about Harrison Mshua. He pushes his punches sort of when he retaliates, but he sort of barrels in with his chest and sort of physically pushes you backward. I'm joined here. How do you see this fight going so far?
Honestly, it's very skeptical fight. Anyway, I don't know where is it going. I mean, I thought first Owen was gonna take it easier, but I can see Mshua is coming back. And then, honestly, for me, it's a give and take. I don't know who to give and who to take it from.
I'm still think Owen Venganayi is in control. You know, Harrison Mshua, he's got a lot of heart, but he's like his name, a bulldog. He sort of barrels in with his chest and his body, and he pushes him back. It's untidy stuff, but it makes it awkward on your opponent. As I've said, that he scored a nice chopping right hand. He's pushing Owen Venganayi back to the corner. Owen turns him around. If you see the right hand, he sort of pushes that blow.
Wow. Honestly, I like how Owen bulldozed that body of Mshua. Honestly, for me, I think as the round goes by, I think it's gonna see how it works. I don't know. It's very beautiful what I'm seeing. I think this is the potential best bout of the evening.
It's hard to see how this bout is going. As I've said, Harrison Mshua has never been knocked out. He's gone the distance in both of his losses. He's a tough guy. It's that ugly chopping, sort of pushing right, but he scored two of those on Venganayi. But Venganayi turns him around. You can see that right hand from Mshua coming from a mile away.
I think that's what Mr. Magic has been saying to him on the corner. Keep pushing that right hand, because I think that's the only punch that has been landing on him, because his jab is not working. He's only been landing on that right. I think that's the best punch for him on this fight.
It's the best punch for him, but it is to disguise it a little bit. Sweep with a left hook and then throw the right hand if you're not going to do a jab. Kind of like Carl Frosch in the second fight against George Groves.
I mean, from a guy who has, I think he has two fights, no win. I mean, this is very impressive. Very impressive from Mshua. I mean, fighting against a guy who has 3 fights, 3 wins. And I mean, for him, I'm very impressed from Mshua. Very impressed.
He's a tough guy, as we said. You get those guys that are never really correctly matched in their careers. He's been in with Ishmael Kadri from the get-go. We know he's a top press back. Went the distance there. I can't recall the name of his other opponent. But he's been thrown into the deep end.
Seconds out.
It is. I mean, I think these are the guys to look at in this division, more especially Owen. Like, it's his first fight on featherweight. I mean, he's coming from junior feather. I think he's doing as well. He's doing very, very good so far. So far, so good for him. I mean, first fight on featherweight. I think he's doing very, very good.
Now we're into the second half of a fight. We're now going into round number 4. Venganayi starts with a jab again. That was a bit wild. And straight back comes Mshua.
This is the into Mshua into kakhulu. I mean, abajeb ababikdala sithetha ngabo ukuba akabethi. I mean, I think uchilo uzolakoti kuya hit that right, mpushela right, mbuyisela umva. And it's been working. Those right hand have been working for him in this fight very, very well. And Owen Venganayi, I mean, he does not taking anything away from him. He's doing very, very good as well. Honestly, I think it's the second time Owen Venganayi dropping his gum shells. I think second time.
It is the second time.
Yes. The second time. I think umphathi funeka ibe khona into ayenzayo. I think official and I thought they were supposed to have 2 gums, but they've been using the same gum. I mean, over and over again. And Mr. Cliff is warning him now. He's warning him. I think it's about time now. Very, very good time now to take the point away from him.
Oh, nice stepping jab there from Owen Venganayi. Harrison Mshua has been coming on this round, and Owen needs to take the control back. He's trying to do that right now. He's tightening up those gloves and he's coming forward.
If you're a betting man, who will you giving this fight right now?
I think Owen is winning the fight, but Mshua has his moments definitely. This is a good round for Harrison Mshua so far, but now Owen Venganayi is trying to take the round back. He's letting his hands go to the body, like just there.
I think so. I mean, if you were in his corner, what would you be saying to Owen right now? I mean, it's 2 rounds to go. What would you be saying to him right now at this moment in time?
I think keep doing what you're doing. Throw the jab, go into the body, and then when you see, when he does that, Harrison comes straight back. Go. Throw the jab, throw your combination, then take a half step back because you know Mshua is going to come forward and you time him with your uppercut. Make him walk onto a shot.
Wow. The boy can hit the body. That's one thing I can't take away from him. He can hit the body. I mean, if I was in Owen's corner, I would say tuck in the chin because his chin has been up since the first round, and that right hand, I think that's why Mr. Magic have been saying to Mshua, keep hitting that right hand.
Good exchanges. There you see, Owen was dominating the combinations, and then Mshua comes straight back. But when he comes back, he's a little bit off balance, and his chin is up in the air. You got to walk him onto something there.
Wow, this boy is doing good. Nice body blows from Owen. Wow, nice uppercut. I think we are going to 6 rounds.
I think it's going to be a distance fight as well. Doesn't look like Mshua is going anywhere.
Yeah, but I feel like he's just surviving. He's just there to be there. He's just surviving. I mean, he's not doing anything spectacular other than that right hand. I mean,
I won't quite say just surviving. He's not running, he's not holding, he's not winning, but he's throwing punches back. This is a hard round to score, this one. It was sort of in 2 halves. Mshua started off well, then Venganayi took back control. Hard one to score.
True that. But honestly, to be honest, I think Owen took this one as well. I think Owen took this round as well. I mean, on my scorecard, I think Owen is leading all these rounds. He's doing well on all these rounds, but not taking anything away from Mshua. Mshua, he's in the fight. He's doing the best he could.
Well, there's 2 rounds left to go. Let's see. But I think Harrison Mshua is in a deep hole. He's not going to win this fight on points anymore. He's going to have to score a knockdown or 2.
Second round.
I must say as well, Jackie Brice has been doing a lot for Western Cape boxing as well. Jackie Brice has been doing the most in the Western Cape. I think he's the most proactive promoter in South Africa so far.
He's definitely the most prolific here in the Western Cape. And what you see with all Jack's shows here, if I think about how it got going again after COVID and the lockdowns when we had it without a crowd, it's just gotten better and better and better. You know, sometimes there's fighters with a little bit bigger names, provincial titles, that sort of thing, WBF titles even. Tonight there's no titles on the line. It's more of a young prospects plying their trade and two familiar faces returning, Cristiano and Ndombassy and Markram. But still, it's a sellout. The crowd is solid here.
I mean, wow, nice left hook from Owen. I mean, nice jab is doing the most. I think Mshua now is starting to trust his jab more and more. I think that's his weapon. That's his weapon. He should use it more. Jab, and that's something that we don't see more often. In the
Beautiful left hook there from Owen Venganayi. Snapped back the hand, the head of Harrison Mshua. He was using his jab, as you said, and then Owen came back with a big left hook, and that's of course because that right hand is underneath his chin, and his chin is up in the air.
Very up.
But Mshua takes it.
takes it. But
Good right hand there from Venganayi. He's picking his shots now.
Very much. That's what now he's doing what we call a boxing clinic. He Akakamazeli, he's doing like he's relaxed, man. Nice one. Nice combination, jab right. You don't often see that. I think he's doing good now. Owen, I mean, he's picking his punches very well.
Owen is having a good round. I agree. His pinpoint accuracy there. And part of it is also Harrison Mshua. His work rate, you can notice, is just dropped away now. And the reason for that is what we just saw, those body shots. That'll sap it out of you.
Yeah, we said that about those body shots. Those body shots, as the fight goes on, you will see the results of it. That's called investment punches. That's investment punches.
Investment punches. And now he's seeing that interest.
Yeah, we're seeing that interest.
Yeah.
We're seeing that interest. This is good. This is good from Owen. I think now, wow. I think he's a bully when it comes to body punches. He's a bully. Wow.
There Mshua comes back. He's a tough guy. And back to the body goes Venganayi. Takes a little left hook, but not too much on it.
I mean, wow, nice left hook. I mean, wow. This left hand, I think Owen's Venganayi left hook is very dangerous. Wow, that's good combination. You know, speaking with Owen and his father, and this week preparing for the fight, I was asking them, what do you expect? He said we're expecting 6 rounds. I think I can see that now.
And you see how Venganayi goes with a left hook to the body, comes over the top, a double to the body, to the head.
And that, I think from first round, that has been his key punch. From the first round, those body blows, most of those left body blows, has been the key for him from the get-go.
Well, we're heading into the last round. It's a distance fight, like everybody said, unless something big happens in this last round. But I think we're heading towards a clear 6-round decision for Owen Venganayi. But there's 3 minutes for Harrison Mshua to change that.
True that. But we are in a sport of miracles, a sport of surprises. Anything can happen in boxing. In 10 seconds, I still remember the fight of Kibiti, winning the fight from first round until round number 12. Then he lost the fight in the 10th second of the fight. I mean, this is why we love the sport. Anything can happen here.
Anything can always happen. Right, last round. They're a bit slow in the corner, getting out there in Venganayi's corner, in the red corner. It's time to go.
Do you think Venganayi is finished? Do you think he finished his job now?
I think it's a distance fight. I say, Marshall, I think it's going to go the distance. Harrison Mshua took some hard shots of Owen Venganayi. Owen's going to have to do something a bit different.
Body blows, those that left body blow, left hand, that's good. Left hook, those left hooks on the body. I mean, it's been the key for Owen, and honestly, he's been taking advantage of it, and he's doing very good on those body blows. And you don't often see that.
Ripping shots to the body. There he goes again.
Wow!
Left hook upstairs.
I must say, what we are seeing here is very beautiful. Very beautiful. This is why we love this sport. This is boxing. I mean, I have to say again, this is so far one of the best bouts we've seen.
It's a very good fight, and we've also seen another fight where Josh Cloete and Marko the Koker earlier tonight. It was also high quality stuff. And then we saw a wild single round of knockdowns being exchanged as well between Bruceley, Mugutso and Siphande, Lithuli.
Okay, now you want me to swallow my tongue. Now you want me to swallow my tongue now. Through that. I almost forgot about Josh and Koker. I mean, that was another fight. And also Lithuli and Mugutso. Wow, 4 knockdowns in 1 round. You don't see that. You don't see that.
Now, both are sort of taking a quick breather there, and then Owen Venganayi goes back to work with his combination punches.
And he's not even breathing that hard, man. I thought he'll be tired by now, but he's not breathing even that hard. I mean, I think he still has it.
Venganayi lets his hands go, and Mshua comes straight back.
Yeah, I must give it to Mshua. Mshua is a warrior. Mshua is a warrior, man. I mean, the punishment that he's been getting, but honestly, he's taking it like a man. He's been taking it like a man.
No, he's definitely tough. Unesibindi, as you say.
Good one. That's a good one. Let's be through that.
That's just, is it closer? It's an expression, it means he's got heart. Literally, it refers to the liver, but in translated to English, it means he's got heart.
True that. Let's be Nunyana. And
Yindoda.
Yeah, Yindoda, he's definitely a man.
Inkabi.
Wow. I think this was fast. This was a very, very, very fast round.
They're heading towards the end, which means you are soon going to have to get up there in the ring again. And there we go. I think it's a clear win for Owen Venganayi. Thank you, Ase Marshley.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. DJ. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these 2 wonderful boxers a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, after this bout, we are going to be having a 10 minutes break. A 10 minutes break, please. Go outside and stretch your legs. We have a bar just back there. You can go and enjoy yourself, and also there's a bottle. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to the judges' scorecards. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout was brought to you by Brice Boxing Promotion in collaboration with Future Stars Promotions. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the fourth bout of the evening. We are only halfway through. The judges. Judge Oscar Newells scored about 59-55. Judge Sipo Ndoge scored about 60-54. Judge DT, the double Tifa, Leon Duarte scored about 58-56. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous points decision from 90 Regent Street in BSC, Ladies and gentlemen, our 10 minutes starts now. from the province of Western Cape, from the Republic of South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, from SA, let's welcome Jason Phaal! Thank you, Mr. DJ. Thank you, my selector. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds, sanctioned by Boxing South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, announcing the timekeeper first, Mr. Failures Lithuli. Ladies and gentlemen, our opponent is Mr. Welterweight. Ladies and gentlemen, announcing the officials. Our judges, Mr. Dixon, Siphande, Mr. Oscar, Ahoyjaman, Mr. Elroy, the Marshal and Marshal. Ladies and gentlemen, our referee, Sidwell, Upana, Koker. Ladies and gentlemen, announcing first the most up on the right hand side from TRC. Ladies and gentlemen, his weight from the snake yesterday was 90.7 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, his boxing plans are blue and white. Ladies and gentlemen, he comes with titles of record of 3 fights, 2 losses, and 1 win. Ladies and gentlemen, he comes by the name of Jean-Claude Ngwandu.
Yeah, it's my time, boy. It's my time, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent on the left-hand side from SA Boxing Gym. Ladies and gentlemen, his boxing plans are white and gold. He comes with a record of 1 fight, 1 win. Ladies and gentlemen, that fight did go to distance. Ladies and gentlemen, might I say, he is a former South African 3-time amateur champion. Ladies and gentlemen, he represented South Africa in all African game 2 times. Ladies and gentlemen, he held the skill of 90.25 kg. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to announce Jason Phaal, the real deal. Boxers, fighters, in the center of the ring and shake hands. Who's out?
It's okay, man, come on. Touch club, touch club.
Okay, we now for a 4-round cruiserweight bout. Jason Phaal made it 1-0 in his pro debut, hardly broke a sweat. Let's see if he goes a bit longer here against Jordan and Ngwandu. Jack?
You know, I don't know the opponent. We've heard that he can bang a bit, and obviously he's got a good pedigree, has young Jason Phaal, and obviously they're feeling each other out, and Jason's full of confidence. He exuberates the confidence.
He's doing that Ric Flair. Woo! He's got his best Ric Flair impression out tonight. Professional wrestling legend Ric Flair, but here it's about throwing punches. And Jason Phaal landed a few good shots there. If you look at his opponent, Jordan Ngwandu, 1 win. He did that win by way of knockout, 2 losses, both those wins. He went down by knockout. So he's a 6 or nix kind of guy. He either knocks you out or he goes home flat.
Yeah. He caught Jason there with a very good right hand. Jason came in with his hands down. I just heard his corner call. Jason, hands up.
He's coming in with his jab. I think Ngwandu is still coming back. He's not.
He's just trying to set him up. There he was.
Huge left hook.
That's a left hook.
And listen to the crowd.
I said he's just setting him up for that left hook.
And bang, there it went. Mouthpiece went flying. And Ngwandu would have been out of the ring, wasn't it, for the ropes? Let's see if he can finish. He is in a bit of luck there. The mouthpiece needs to be replaced. Buys Ngwandu some valuable seconds there.
And the crowd is all shouting for Jason. It was a big left hook that came home.
In he goes with a jab.
His opponent's gloves are definitely high now. A big strong jab there from Jason Phaal. Powerful jab. He's setting him up again. You can see it. That left hook's going to come home again. He wants to get on the inside. Picks him up with a right left hook. Just watch out. This kid can bang.
They're big boys as well.
And all big boys bang.
They're not heavyweights, but they're cruiserweights. They're substantial, and those are big shots going in. Right hand left hook when he steps back again. And Ngwandu's watching for that left hook now.
Definitely watching for it now. Definitely watching.
Oh, good right to the body there from Jason Phaal. And upstairs with a left hook. He's got him on the ropes again, uppercut.
You know, big boys don't fight on the outside, eh? They work from the inside. Jason, very relaxed. His corners told him just to relax.
Oh, that's a clear 10-8 round for Jason Phaal. And it's only 4 rounds, so if Ngwandu wants to do something, he'll have to do something really dramatic. A 10-8 round in a 4-rounder is a big hole to climb out of.
Big hole, big hole. It's a big hole to get out of.
See, Phaal's also standing in his corner, very confident and relaxed.
No, his conditioning, you know, and his commitment now with the SN boxing, with Solly and Steve Newton. You can see he has this exuberance now. He's 25 years old, if I'm not mistaken, and he's a new kid. And the cruiserweights in the division need to look out for him as I bring him along.
It's always good to have a star in the higher weight divisions, and like some of the other fighters that we've seen earlier today, he carries a bit of a fan base. They're sitting here to the left of us and they're quite vocal.
Very much so. He has a huge fan base. He's catching his punches now, and I know what he wants to do. He wants to work on side there, that the right can come. Oh, he caught him with some nice uppercuts.
He's ate some of those uppercuts. You see, Phaal comes in with his hands held high, and not quite in a crouch, but his head is sort of forward. So I was wondering when when his opponent was going to try those uppercuts, but it doesn't seem to bother him.
There he goes, another uppercut, and that's obviously working now.
It's a bit of a slugfest now.
And that's what it's going to be like now, I think, until one's legs go. Definitely catching him now.
Oh, big rights there from Jason Phaal. Ngwandu's in a bit of trouble here above the ropes, but he comes back. He throws him with a left hook.
He just works off his jab. He wants to get on the inside with that left hook or the right hand over the top. And it's a wild uppercut that Ngwandu is throwing.
Good right hand there from Jason Phaal. Nice combination. Left, right, left hook.
Short left hook to the head there.
He's taking some shots in retain, does Jason Phaal there.
He definitely is. No wonder he's fighting the wrong fight. And unfortunately...
Good body shots, right hand on top.
I must say, Jason's looking in very good nick, and I repeat that. Nice body blows there. Just got to watch out when he brings that head up.
He's got him trapped here on the ropes and he's teeing off on Ngwandu. Ngwandu, oh, good right hand, another good right hand, and another one. Ngwandu steps off to the side. Ngwandu's taking those and he's coming back.
It's definitely coming back. And Jason's catching him with a straight jab now.
Oh, he caught that right hand from Jason Phaal. Oh! And another one. He's down.
He's gone. He's gone.
That's it. Knockout, second round. Jason Phaal gets his second win inside the distance in his young pro career. He's had to work a lot harder for it than he did in his debut.
Thank you, Mr. DJ. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these guys a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget these bouts and this whole view is brought to you by Brice Boxing Promotion in collaboration with Future Stars Boxing Promotions. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner on the second round in 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, by knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, hold the bodies of the congratulations. I know how much you were looking forward for this fight. Jason, talk to us how were the preparation and first of all, how do you feel about this moment?
I feel great about what happened tonight. There's obviously places in here that improve and get better. I should be around the forward. And the preparation was great. I apologize for the thanks everybody very much for supporting.
I must say, I'm not a short guy, but I feel short now. I don't know if it's possible. Listen. You just mentioned something that's very, very interesting when we were there watching it. He caught you to some of the punches and the way you recovered. Tell me what was going through your head at that time. Because that's something else.
Yeah, I was just getting excited about a lot of things tonight and I was just put on a show. The excitement got a little bit better. I felt great. But like I said, got tripped, wasn't really in danger. Just began it from there. Just took a step back, went in there, learned what I needed to do, went back to the drawing board, came out, smashed.
This is interesting. You were a SA champ at amateur weights. Now you're in pro weights. Are we looking at the future South African champion?
I think we've got a massive road to walk, and it's just up from here. I feel like I'm on top of the world at the moment. Once again, thanks to everyone for coming out.
He said he's the next South African champion. Agree or no? That's also a very question I know. Talk to me, what were the preparations? Talk to me, how was the preparation, the sparring partners and so on? Okay, talk to me. I saw you and the coach on the other side and pushing each other. What's going on? Are we seeing the coaches fighting next?
No, definitely not. You don't really know how to respect. I don't know disrespect. It can be opposition at the end of the day. It's a competition and you try to bring the life of this kind of thing. Let's respect each other. We're talking to this kind of thing. We walk away and these guys will work with that.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm very few shots. Why are you putting me in the middle? Because I'm very few shots now. Because I'm in the middle. Okay, Mr. Brice, talk to me. You said you're going to tell me why were these guys fighting?
You know, I think if you saw the social of his opponent and the words that he used, then it was the beauty what he was at the end. You know, I was the fighter. And the fighter told me that you'll go down. That's exactly what happened tonight. But above all that, we're all sportsmen. he apologized. That takes a man to do. However, boxing tonight again in Cape Town, Western Cape Ride. And I want to thank the fans, especially you, Justin, and the other fighters, Markram and Ndombassy, who spoke on the camera. I want to thank them very, very much.
Just between me and you, what were the words?
I can't say.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Brice. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these guys once again a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not just boxing, this is fast and furious boxing. We are partners of this fast and furious boxing in collaboration with Jackie Brice Boxing Promotion and Future Stars. Not forgetting CTC, Case Lawyers, Oxford and Black Luli. Ladies and gentlemen, coming on right hand side of blue corner, all the way from Limpopo, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Khodani, Nephalama! Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent coming on the right corner. Ladies and gentlemen, from the province of Welterweight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Marko! Ladies and gentlemen, for once in this evening, already good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we are having a light heavyweight bout in 6 rounds. Ladies and gentlemen, our keeper for this bout is the Rolfing Hens. Our corner inspectors, Mr. Weber and Mr. Ngwandu. Ladies and gentlemen, our officials for this bout is the Koker, Mr. Oscar Noel, Mr. Koker. Ladies and gentlemen, our head of body, our head official is the Jean-Claude. announcing first, the boxer on the right hand side, wearing camouflage. Ladies and gentlemen, he is from the province of Limpopo. Ladies and gentlemen, his weight yesterday on the scale was 80.20 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, he comes with a record of 5 fights, 1 win and 4 losses. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Khodani, the Silver Nephalama! Ladies and gentlemen, one more right inside. He weighs black box. His weight on the scale yesterday was 78.20 kilograms. He's from the province of Western Cape. However, due to regular disease, he's overseas. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a one-time South African champion in amateur. He is a one-time bronze medalist in amateur. Ladies and gentlemen, he became the Pan-American champion in Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, his coach is on production. Everyone, Brice. Ladies and gentlemen, how surrounds Markram! Bosses, in the center of the ring and shake hands. This match is scheduled for 4 rounds. However, Cloete must to finish it. Round number 1.
Like it says. We're on our way here. I've got it as a 6-round light heavyweight bout between Markram in the black trunks and Khodani Nephalama in the camouflage trunks. Markram, Jack, he's been away from boxing for about 3 years. What was that all about?
Yeah, you know, Michael has a job as a personal trainer in all parts of the world, and obviously he's been away, but we're so happy to have him back. But he's a superb fit boy, and I just want to see what his comeback's like, because you know he's been training in San Diego in America, and he's sparred against some world champions there, and it's the first time I'm seeing him after him being with Peter Smith.
And I remember Markram well. I know he lost a 10-round decision to Frankie Rodriguez for the Gauteng title years ago. I think he was even managed by Brian Mitchell at a stage, if my memory serves me correctly. And he's definitely got a bit of distance experience in him. And also a bit of a crowd puller. But we'll see if he can deliver here. He's working behind that jab, a little bit tight perhaps.
Very tight, you know. Nervous because you know it's a comeback, and obviously got a big crowd behind him here in Cape Town. He's a Cape Town kid, and but he will settle in.
Nephalama is moving. Is working his jab. He keeps moving away. And he's the shorter man. If you're a shorter man, it's hard to stick and move. You tend to have to come forward.
Absolutely, you know, and Michael's just trying to work off the jab and try and set him up with the right hand. His hands are tight, and I'm impressed what I'm seeing from Michael. And you know, this kid's just swinging. He looks like he's bowling cricket.
He needs to shake up off the cobwebs. It's been a long inactivity. He needs to get the timing in.
Michael caught him there with an uppercut and another left hook. And that's right, you know, Michael doesn't need to go mad. He's getting into this thing of he's gonna soon work him out. He's gonna just keep working off his jab. He's catching the punches well. The kid's wasting blows. Another right hand there.
Right hand is going over top of head of Nephalama, though. That was a push down.
The referee's The referee, Marshall, warned him and cautioned him about the push. Mike's obviously trying to set him up with the right hand. There it goes. And it, oh.
He's looking for that right hand.
Smiles as he goes back to the corner. I personally think Michael will knock him out in the next round with the right hand, but he's got to relax, and that's what he's doing.
I agree, he just got to relax a little bit and maybe disguise the right hand a little bit better, you know. Go a double with a jab, go downstairs with a jab, something, make it look elsewhere, because at the moment, Nephalama is sort of slipping under that right hand.
He's evading it and he's ducking in, and then he throws the wild bowler, and that could be his detriment. So he's got to be careful of that as well. And Michael's looking good, you know, after 3 years, and he's 25. He can only get better.
Round number 2. Let's see if he opens up a bit more in this round and let his hands go. There's the gong for the second round. And forward comes Markram.
Just keeps working off a jab. The jab will set it up. Oh, nice slip there from Markram. Just missed with that left hook. And he's very tight, Tricks, you'll see. Works off a strong jab. He's definitely going to come over that left hand with the right hand. He wants to feint him. He's setting him up, I can see it. And there you go with the left hook.
There comes the uppercut.
Sorry, Brooks, I go quiet.
And there he's facing a shorter opponent that's moving backward. And there, the right hand hits him behind the ear and down he goes.
He went right behind the ear. I think it'll be all over very, very soon. He'll get up. He'll get up.
Nephalama has got a resigned look on his face. He looks to his corner. He's going to try a last sort of wild shot, I think.
Looking for a punch from heaven. And it's happened many times in boxing.
He's moving away from the right hand.
Mike's setting him up with the left hook now. Because he's... Give him credit. He's coming back at Michael after being dropped.
That was
I think he's going to get up.
That was a right to the body, a final punch there. He's up. He doesn't look like he wants to continue.
Like he wants to carry on. Mike should just go in for the kill now.
No, he's definitely, the body language, he's trying to quit, basically.
I think he wants to quit, and that's what I said. Hence the fact that I don't think this fight would have gone 2 rounds. But he's getting a lot of breaks for him. Mike just got to relax. You can see. He doesn't want to get hurt.
So getting to the body now. I think Michael must just let his hands go and force the stoppage, and the referee's going to stop.
He's got to go to the body, and he's not going to the body. And he kept on working off a jab, and he caught him with the right hand. There you go.
Nephalama stumbles into the corner, the bell saves him.
The bell saves him again. Like he slipped, like he ripped.
Well, I don't think Nephalama fancies it anymore, like the British like to say. I think he's looking for a way out. If Marko lets his hands go or just throw a hard shot to my body, I think he's looking to take a knee now.
And you know, and I want to tell people, a lot of people will say, why bring a fighter like this? We are here to build fighters. They took the fight. They were confident of beating Michael, and coming back after 3 years, I think this is the right type of fight for Michael, and he can only get better from this.
You want him to get in a few rounds if he can. And he's into the third round now. So at least he's getting a bit of work in.
Absolutely. And that, you know, it's not just to knock people out. It's to put in the rounds.
Round number 3.
And we've got to put in the rounds, that's it. But let's see what happens. His opponent has come out for round 3.
I think it's a question of don't blink now. Nephalama is back on his jab. Sort of pushes out a right hand. It's sort of like a game of tag now. He hits and then he moves, and he hits and he moves.
Absolutely, and this is their corner, and they've decided to stick and move.
Now he's got him trapped in the corner. Uppercut. He's throwing an uppercut in between. Does Markram. Nice left hook to the body.
He just needs to step back a little bit and follow up with a 1-2. Follow up with a 1-2. He's going to go. He's going to go.
He's trapped in a corner above us. Right uppercut, another uppercut, and he's down in a sitting position. And referee Alroy Marshall's counting. This is going to be it. He's done. That's it. Third round knockout for Michael Markram. He's back. Hopefully he shook up some cobwebs. And that's it.
All over.
Thank you, Mr. DJ. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this boxing bout is brought to you by Future Stars Boxing Promotion in collaboration with J.K. Brice Boxing Promotion. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give this guy a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget. Please don't forget to subscribe to Spy Inc. If you want to see this fight live. Don't forget to subscribe to Spy Inc. And also tomorrow you can see this fight there. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner on round number 3, 1 minute and 31 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by knockout, Marko.
Guys, you've heard it. Please like and subscribe to Spy Inc.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to our last fight of the evening. The main event. Ladies and gentlemen, the main event is scheduled for 6 rounds, essentially by boxing South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, announcing first, the boxer coming from the right hand side, on blue corner, ladies and gentlemen, Siphande, Nolawu! Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, all the way from Democratic Republic of Congo. Ladies and gentlemen, Cristiano, Ndombassy! Ladies and gentlemen, announcing the timekeeper, Mr. Owen, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the foreign inspector, Mr. Welterweight. Ladies and gentlemen, our judges for this bout, Mr. Ngwandu, Mr. Mshua, and Mr. Siphande. Ladies and gentlemen, announcing the boxers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget this is the death of David and Goliath. Ladies and gentlemen, announcing first of all from the right hand side, from the north of Eastern Cape, he weighs in 69.10 kilograms. The drums, left and right. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a 2 times SA champion amateur. Ladies and gentlemen, he represented South Africa in Zimbabwe. Ladies and gentlemen, he represented South Africa in Germany and came back with the silver. Ladies and gentlemen, he comes with a record 9 fights, 5 draws, 1 draw, and 5 wins. Ladies and gentlemen, Republic of Congo, however, resides in South Africa. He trains in Ngwandu. Ladies and gentlemen, on his weight on a scale, he was 69.45 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, his bands black, red, and yellow. Ladies and gentlemen, he comes with a record of 22 fights, 8 losses, 15 wins, and 10 of those wins didn't go to distance. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to announce Cristiano, warrior of faith, Ndombassy!
Well, we have a 6 rounds junior middleweight bout ready to go. And familiar favourite here in Cape Town, Cristiano Ndombassy. Just a correction there from ring announcer, he's originally from Angola, not from the DRC. And he's up against Nolawu now. Ndombassy, we know by now what we've got in him. He's explosive, he can punch. He's dangerous for every minute until the end of a fight. But he can also be outboxed, as we have seen, and he's faced the very best in South Africa and the African continent as well. He's been in with Emani Colombo, Lucas Ndafuluma, Rock Knapp, Siphande Koopman, Brandon Tyser, you name it. He is very, very unlucky not to be a stoppage winner over Rock Knapp when he put him down 3 times in their fight. And the referee forgot that it was a 3 knockdown rule in a WBA fight, WBA Pan-African title, I think it was. Dangerous guy, Cristiano Ndombassy. Is he going to be back with a bang tonight? You can see Sivenathi Nolawu has done his homework. He's trying not to be in a slugging match. He's moving. He's jabbing to the body of Ndombassy, swinging out of a left hook. And Ndombassy is coming forward as we know him by now, chasing him. And Ndombassy with a jab, Nolawu is out of it. Nolawu comes back with a jab. If we look at Sive Nolawu, 5 wins, 4 of them by knockouts. 3 losses, 2 of those losses went inside the distance and a draw. And Ndombassy's been around, so if he still wants to have a career, he needs to win here tonight against Sivenathi Nolawu. A loss is something here he can't afford. He needs to close that distance now. Nolawu is on his bicycle. Then Ndombassy goes with a right to the body. That's a better way to go, because I think he's going to battle to get Nolawu with a head punches. This is badly there. And see, Nolawu's legs are still fresh. Moving, right hand there, grazed Nolawu from where I'm sitting. Steps away from right hand there. Changes levels. Difficult round to score. Ndombassy was the aggressor, but he missed a lot. Nolawu just sort of touched him with a jab here and there. But if you're going to win rounds on the back foot, I think you need to land more than just a grazing jab. You need to really outbox your opponent, and Nolawu hasn't quite done that. Samuel Brice talking to a corner. The Cristiano Ndombassy also there in a corner. The former two-time IBF Junior Lightweight Champion of the World, Mshua.
Round number 2.
Let's see if Ndombassy can close a gap. I think Cristiano would be well served to go to a body, because he needs to take away the legs of Nolawu. Nolawu is moving a lot, so you have to slow him down somehow. There, the jab of Ndombassy found the target. Nolawu is throwing a combination. It's not. He lands the right hand there. Ndombassy lands to the body. Dangerous stuff. But Nolawu gets out of it. Ducks under those punches. Lands it. Touching with the right hand. Good right hand for Nolawu. And he's back on his bicycle. Left hook. Turns with a left hook. Some good boxing here for Sivenathi Nolawu. Lands it right again. Touches him there with a right downstairs. Uppercut. Jabs to the body, and Ndombassy keeps chasing. He's got him under ropes here, but not quite finding the mark. There, Nolawu grabs him and shoots himself away. Left hook there from Ndombassy, got home. And Nolawu goes out, slips out to the side door. Left hook there, moves Nolawu to his left. When he throws that left hook, and Ndombassy should follow up with a right hand. He'll sweep him into that right hand. Because now he's chasing, and Nolawu is not really landing something massively meaningful, but he is pot-shotting him there from the outside. Double jab from Nolawu, and Ndombassy just keeps plodding forward. Nolawu is boxing well in this round. You just like him to do a little bit more punching with him moving. Because if you're at the wrong angle of the ring, it looks like Ndombassy is landing, but it's over the head of Nolawu. I think that was a round for Sivenathi Nolawu. Actually, I gave him that. Three fights ago, Ndombassy won, I think it was his WF international title against Junior Marko, who will be challenging under Brandon Tyson, or not challenging, fighting Brandon Tyson for a vacant South African junior middleweight title. But in that fight, it took him 10 rounds to finally stop Marko. Up until then, it was very close on the cards. I think he was maybe behind on one of the cards. But he hasn't got 10 rounds tonight. That's the point. He's only got 6 rounds. So he's got to make sure that Nolawu doesn't steal rounds like they say in the trade. There, Ndombassy gets closer with a jab. Good jab from Ndombassy. When he throws that jab, he needs to follow it up with something. Another good jab from Ndombassy. He's edging closer. There, I like the fact that Ndombassy is going over jab. Nolawu comes back. The jab's going over that last jab went over the top of the head of Nolawu. I think Ndombassy must just vary that jab and cut off the ring. Because Nolawu keeps going around the side. Then he comes back with that 1-2, but it doesn't land flush. It just sort of falls kind of short. Oh, good right hand there from Ndombassy. Jab and the hook of a jab. There Ndombassy comes with a right hand. Now he must throw. Before Nolawu slips away again. And Ndombassy is stalking. But he's battling to come to grips with his moving opponent. That's always been a thing of Ndombassy. He doesn't like the movers. Nolawu's got the right game plan. He just needs to throw more, you know. There, Ndombassy clips him with a left hook, makes Nolawu hold. But in this round, there are a lot of gaps in between, but Ndombassy is landing the power shots. I think it's a better round for Ndombassy. Nolawu's mouth is open there. I think the pace and all the moving is getting to him. Which it drains you to miss punches, but it also drains you to move all the time, to be on your toes like that. There's a good right. He misses with that one. Better round for Ndombassy. Creeped closer there.
Seconds out. Seconds out to round number 4.
Right, and Ndombassy's got him there at the ropes, but away he dances. Nolawu. Voilà, Hector Gamacho. Ndombassy has to keep him in that corner. Nolawu grabs hold of him and pushes him back. Oh, good shots around the guard there from Nolawu around high guard of Ndombassy. When Nolawu was throwing, Ndombassy needs to punch with him. Nolawu touches him over right. Ndombassy looks like he's trying to swat a pesky mosquito here. He needs to get busy. There is a nice little left hook. There's a jab. Another short left hook. Taps Nolawu on the jaw there. Catches him with a right there. Nolawu is slipping a bit here on the canvas. Now he's got to keep him in there, but out goes Nolawu. And then he comes back with his own punches. He's working his jab, but it's not landing. Ndombassy is throwing the power shots, but once again, that's not landing either. There, Ndombassy finds a bit of a target, but out there, he's got a good right hand right there. Nolawu comes back. Good right hand there from Ndombassy. He's sticking with a jab there. Good right hand from Nolawu. Very hard round to call here. Lots of missed punches. And Ndombassy is an aggressor. When he lands, it clearly carries more power. Oh, right hand there. The referee's ruled it a slip. Looked like a right hand to me, but I had Ndombassy's back to me. He would have had a better view from the other side of the ring. So I'm not going to argue with the referee there. But I think all this moving is taking a toll out of Nolawu's legs.
Round number 5.
All right, let's go. Next round. It's round number 5 already, so 2 rounds left. Cristiano Ndombassy is going to have to let his hands go a bit more. And I think Nolawu is going to have to do more than just the odd jab and moving around. Caught Ndombassy there and he's out. Holds him there in a corner. He's good at tying up Nolawu. There's a right hand from Ndombassy. Nolawu working that jab. Good uppercut from Cristiano. Now he needs to follow up. There we go, left hook. Shots to the body. That's better stuff from Ndombassy. Nolawu pots him with a right hand, but there's no power really in Nolawu's punches. Good little right there to the body from Ndombassy. He's going to the body again. Nice left hook from Ndombassy. Now he needs to keep him there. He needs to stop letting him slip out the side. Nolawu is back on his bicycle. He's throwing there 1-2, but he falls just short. That one falls short too. Parried on the glove. Good jab from Ndombassy. Typical sort of stalking performance from Ndombassy when he meets a slick boxer. But Sivenathi Nolawu, everything that he does well is no Siphande Quer, man. I think Ndombassy just, the few shots that were landed, Ndombassy just had the hardest shots there. You know, Nolawu sort of frustrated him and touched him here there. I've got Marshall Sentile over here again, the ring announcer. Marshall, how do you see this fight going so far?
Wow. Do you remember the fight of Canelo versus Lara?
Canelo and?
Lara.
It is Lara. It looks kind of similar, you're right, you know. With Nolawu being Lara and Ndombassy Canelo. Who do you have in?
If I was a betting man, I would see other judges' scorecards.
It's a hard fight to score. Nolawu is outboxing him in spots, but he's not really landing hard shots, he's just touching him. And Ndombassy is an aggressor, he struggles to land, but when he lands, the blow seems to be more telling. For Nolawu, I feel to win the rounds, he needs to land a little bit more because he's throwing a softer punches, and then Ndombassy needs to cut the ring off a bit better. Having said that, Nolawu moves well, he knows how to get out of the way. Now Ndombassy is fighting with urgency, which is what I like to see. Coming forward.
When I was, wow, the boy can move. The boy can move. And you know, when I was asking him his record, when he told me that he's a two-time SHM, he represented South Africa in Zimbabwe, he represented South Africa in Germany. I couldn't believe him until I saw him on the first round. He is a skilled fighter.
He knows his way around the ring and he's done his homework. He's not fighting blind. Yeah, he's obviously seen Ndombassy has been in some very high-profile fights. And he knows what he struggles with and he's exploiting that.
True that. I was just telling PM that this boy needs to be protected. For me, this is not a good fight for him. I think they just threw him in a deep end. He needed to be protected. This is a future South African champion. This is a future world champion on my own perspective. And he's young.
You see, there is a thing. That's what's making it difficult to score. Nolawu was boxing well. There he boxes well again. Then Ndombassy lands a heavy body shots. Good combination from Nolawu. Around the guard of Ndombassy. Now Ndombassy comes again, grazing left hook.
You know, it's fight like this that makes my job more difficult.
I think the job will be difficult if you have to score this one. Now Ndombassy has got Nolawu right above us, but he slips out the back door again.
This is the main bout. This is the main bout. Both of these guys are here to win it. I know it's totally different styles. And I think it's one of the plans that these guys from Ninth came with. They know that Ndombassy will come like this. Wow! Nice right hand from Ndombassy, but he missed it. And anyway, this is a good fight.
Ndombassy misses. Nolawu throws a left hook and turns out. Ndombassy charges in. He holds him. This is a good round for Nolawu so far, I think.
I think also he's been doing very good with that left hand of his, especially when he slip and throw that right hand, that left hand. I think he's been having some sort of progression on it. Wow. Who do we give?
That's the end of the round. I gave this round to Nolawu.
The fight.
Let me add it up. I would hate to be a judge here, because if Ndombassy wins, Nolawu's going to say I outboxed him all night. If Nolawu wins, Ndombassy is going to say you ran all night. So whoever loses here is going to be unhappy. So you're going to have your job cut out there.
Let's just say this is Lara up against Canelo fight.
There was the same thing there. Each claimed victory.
Up against Goliath. Indeed, the battle of Mignolo, I must say. The battle of Mignolo, I must say. Ninth high up against Brice's Brice Boxing Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these guys a big round of applause, a big round of applause. This was indeed the main bout of the evening. This was indeed the main bout of the evening. I think I must put it out there, I'm not the judge. I think I must put it out there, I'm not the judge. I'm just an announcer. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's give these guys a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout was brought to you by Jackie Brice Boxing Promotion in collaboration with Future Stars Boxing Promotions. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to our judges' scorecards. Ladies and gentlemen, judge number 1 scored this bout, Dion Duarte, 56, 58, Sivenathi. Judge Elroy Marshall scored about 56, 58, Cristiano Ndombassy. Judge Sipo Ndogeni scored about 56, 58. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by majority decision from the province of Eastern Cape in 9th side, Sivenathi! Normally, I would interview someone. Normally, I would interview someone on the last bout. Normally, I would interview someone. Mzonke. Normally, I would interview someone. Holy. Holy, where's Holy?
Where is holy is a Sive. Sive, first and foremost, congratulations on your win. It's a hard-fought win. Tell us, uziva njani Mhlekazi?
Yeah, buti nonobile. Mina ndibulela ikona yami. Ndibulele ne-camp bendichima nayo. Because yonke into engicela yona ngiyenzile. Nansi namhlanje nisebenzele. Ndiwinile fight. Umzimba wami mfita awusebenzanga namhlanje good.
I must say, ngoku ngipha phandle, I was commentating in this fight. I was saying this is a fight that reminds me of Lara and Canelo.
Sure.
Your movements, I must say, help you on this fight. Tell me, i-preparation ibinjani? Usilungiselele njani for umlo onje? Apho indoda ibisiza kuwe efondini okuhamba imile zikuncedile. Usilungiselele njani?
I-running ne-training bendifumana umuntu ebendinike iprogram esejimini isincedile because i-leg besifocuse kuyo kakhulu umuva eringini then namhlanje bisebenzele khange sisinde imilenze sisebenzile fight the way besisebenze ngayo besiprepare ngayo ejimini.
What's next for Sive Nolawu? What's next for Sive Nolawu? Ndizawuzana kwi-coach. What's next for you? Uzawukwenza kantoni ngoku from now next year? What's next for Sive Nolawu?
Promoter mazini Western Cape promoters.
Jackie Brice is going to help you.
30 Western Cape Khodani. Mabasise yona ngosifuna yona ikwenye nesifuna.
Mr. Brice, we didn't hear you. What did you just say?
You know, what's imperative is that Cristiano Ndombassy has been a wave warrior for many, many years. Many, many years. And when a young man comes, there's always time for a young man. And it's his time now. And Jackie Brice Boxing will look after him. We will give him the fights in Cape Town. We're building a big team with 9 side. And it's like I said, young man is going to go places. So well done. Keep your head on the ground. You've got a good training team behind you. I've known them. I've worked with them a long time. My champions come out of that gym. Keep your head on the ground. You're still young. You can go places.
Thank you.
I teach a 2 times South African champion, represented South Africa in Zimbabwe, represented South Africa in Germany, came with a silver medalist.
Take it slow, yeah?
Jackie Brice just told us he is willing to take this boy far. What are your thoughts at this point in time?
We are looking at not disappointing our coach. We work very hard for each and every fight. We make it a point that we win convincingly. Especially for this particular fight, we worked very hard, knowing very well that Ndombassy is an experienced boxer. He has been fighting national and international. So we worked very hard, knowing that he's going to come with a lot of experience, and he's also powerful, and it's also his division. We're moving from a lower division to his own division, but we managed because we knew the strategy was to move away from his dangerous punches.
And you did that very well. We must say you did that very, very well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a big round of applause. Mr. Brice, what's next on the Jackie Brice boxing promotion? What's next on the cards? When do we see you again? We've been seeing you a lot. I'm not annoyed. I love it.
No, listen, 30th of August, we've got the SA title fight with Tolashi. It's a vacant title fight. My young girl, number 1, Simekele Tucheni, will be fighting on that same fight. Kalonji will be fighting for the WBF Africa, 30th of August. We're not sure about the venue yet. Possibly your military camp in Weinberg. But again, I just want to thank the crowd, my sponsors that have supported me, like Black Lily and Nick Walker. It's people like that I walk a long road with. So, but to everyone else, Rudy Stander from the tax attorney group, it's people like that we walk that long road with. We don't get government sponsorship. We pay purse monies out of our own pocket sometimes. But My dad's left a legacy. It's now our time in Cape Town. We're number 2 in the country at the moment. It's through people like Sava from Insane Boxing, my colleague and fellow promoter in Cape Town, and it's efforts like this that'll make Cape Town boxing grow.
Ladies and gentlemen, rise Cape Town, rise Western Cape, rise. Ladies and gentlemen, Spy Inc., don't forget to subscribe. CTC, Black Lily, Oxford. Oh, it's a big shot that I have to interview.